I don't know enough about the research that leads people to draw that conclusion to see what it is.
So Frank is kind of aware of this. He wouldn't go maybe metaphysically say this is the extent of human creative process, but he knows and he proves this in BO5.
I don't know enough about the research
the whole process right there.
Draw that conclusion to see
so the
what
guy, he lays out, he says, we just want you to review detailed aspects of our work without considering the placement, italicized, the placement of a detail. No, it's not fair that you don't review without considering the placement of a detail in the larger structure. And the guy says, why don't you guys just play rock and roll like everybody else and forget all this other crap?
You want some cheesy boobs, too?
Yeah, I want cheesy boobs.
Look what that, it's so
where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
What he says. Sometimes we do play rock and roll like everybody else. In brackets, sort of.
You want to know what I think? What?
But the important thing is
where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Quadrophenic. We're not just limited to that. Sometimes we do play rock and roll like everybody else, sort of. Our basic stylistic determination is rock. Only sometimes it gets extrapolated into curious realms.
Now all we need is chicks, Kenny.
Isn't that incredible? So the guy says, you probably get into that classical rock.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
The guy that Frank stopped being classical rock or something, which was just starting to come in then.
They killed Kenny!
The nostalgia industry was just starting up. So he says, the guy says, you probably get into that classical rock in quotes. Then he goes, real intellectual with ugly chords and the beat's no good.
How's it feel to be 102, Paps?
Shoot me! So maybe, he's actually remembering what the Mothers were out of in 66, 67, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's called classical rock by 3 years later. Real intellectual. This would be like the 13th elevator or something.
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Here's the fucking money!
Yeah, real intellectual with ugly chords and the beat's no good. Zappa says,
it's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Says, any association we might have with, quote, serious music, unquote, has to be considered from a rock viewpoint, because most of us are strictly rock musicians. There is also the element of humor to consider. So the guy says, you guys could never really play any good rock and roll. You're not serious enough. So see,
I'm impatient with stupidity.
My
people have learned to live without it.
Right? So this is the conclusion.
Where the hell did you get that
guys
idea,
could never
Hal?
really play any good rock and roll. You're not serious enough. You couldn't even play any good serious music because you're not serious enough.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Have you even considered employment in another field?
That is not true! Top it up, baby, it's not true!
I would like to bring to your attention at this time one of the basic tenets of our group philosophy, and this is in big letters. It is, in spite of all evidence to the contrary, theoretically possible to be heavy, in quotes, heavy, and still have a sense of humor.
Fart jokes are the lowest form of comedy, and about...
And then he puts in brackets, we direct this specifically toward people who suffer feelings of ambivalence when given an opportunity to laugh at themselves. Then he says, and another, and this is the important part, and another precept which guides our work. And this is the last line, in big letters. Somebody in that audience out there knows what we're doing, and that person is getting off on it beyond her wildest comprehensions.
Yeah, Bob.
That's right.
Ass full of pork fat, jiggles like a jello mold, mouth is flapping too.
That's right. It's awesome.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?